tape. So I'm showing this under center, play action, screen. Got to identify the one guy, and this time they're in man. But if they identify, these are big plays, and these are going to be big plays on both sides. Both teams are going to use, some under center screen action. They're going to try to find ways to get the ball in the hands of, in the case of the Packers, obviously Jacobs, but also Jayden Reed in the backfield, and get him in a little bit of space, because a lot of times, particularly when they're in man, you're one block away from a home run. The big thing here with the Seattle defense, in my opinion, just offensive line guy, they tip when they're going to move, but you have to be able to anticipate it and communicate. And a lot of times when you are running gap schemes in particular, in my opinion, it's much easier to cut the defense. Now, the other way to cut the defense is to have the motion come across the football and we do see this with Tucker Kraft a lot, and then just cut the defense. Whoever's spiking, if they're spiking from the end spot, we're gonna take that guy out, and we're just gonna create the hole in the backside B gap. So there's ways to do this, but particularly if you're trying to run like an outside zone or something, or even the gap stuff, you really have to anticipate this. There needs to be calls up front, because otherwise they can get penetration. And this is where, they're a very physical front. And again, they're deep at the defensive line position. So both, the first and second unit can kind of do it all. We got a bunch look up top. And this is where I think there's an opportunity. You're not going to see this all the time, but particularly when they're under center, there's condensed spacing between the line of scrimmage and the safeties. It's very rare that you see 10 yards anymore these days. We talk about it all the time with our guys. 12 yards deep, 15 yards deep, and they immediately get back. These guys play a little bit tighter, and because of that, wide. You're not going to match up the star wide receivers here with a lot of safeties and say the wide receiver's not going to pace him. And that's what happened early in the week last week. Again, Williams is just on one. He's just throwing guys around. He threw two guys on the ground, ends up getting in on the play. And again, man amongst boys right now. I think he's really going to test all three of our interior offensive linemen, two in particular. So there's two things going on here. One, Paris Johnson Jr. had a rough game against all three of their outside linebackers. He had a couple holding calls, gave up a sack. But you get different looks from Seattle, and they've got range on the back end. And so the guy that's going to make this play, so this is a holding call, but the guy that's going to make this play he's not even in the screen until the last minute. They will get deep. So you get that condensed look where you're like, oh man, I got these great opportunities. And so what's the next thing? Okay, I want to throw the deep cross. Well, the guy got deeper this time, and you just as a quarterback have to be aware, you got to identify those guys pre-snap and post-snap. Going to be big in this game. Leonard Williams being really aggressive. We're going to see this, and so we have to anticipate that the Packers are probably going to start running some of this quick trap stuff to take advantage of the aggressiveness, particularly the defensive tackle position with Leonard Williams, because he is going to be a problem in this game, in my opinion. And so one way to neutralize him is to take advantage of his aggressiveness towards the line of scrimmage and do these quick traps. He digs himself out of this play, really. You get one missed tackle, all of a sudden you got a huge run. Expect to see that in the game. So Mafe Losu came up from the Chargers, man. He's a really good player. And then Hall, all these guys can rush. And we're just seeing a play here that's just on a keep. But these kind of plays get you in trouble. Early in the game, sack, right? Just because just like our guys, some of our guys, they're going for the quarterback. And one thing the Packers have done really well at the outside, or the defensive end outside linebacker position, what do you want to call it, at the rush edge position, is we're not falling for fakes very much. And this is one of those teams as well they're not that interested in falling for the fake. They're following the quarterback at that edge position. So we have to respect that and not just try to pull a tight end and try to make that work, right? You got to get those guys in a good position to be successful. You see, right now they're coming in. You can't have these negative plays. Don't put these guys in a situation where they can get us behind the sticks. We got the slant. That's an odd. Both these are obvious. They happen late, but you can get a call out. And if you can get a call out, at the backside tackle, for example, here, Johnson, all you got to do is step back into 53 and you got a big hole, right? But we don't get to it. Instead, they got to tackle for loss. Yeah. So first, this is just abusive by this guy, man. So first of all, you like the 3-down linemen. All three of these guys are good. But then the way he attacks, so they're running the slip, and he's just like, "Now I'm going to turn this into a single block." Just abuses the hell out of the guard. And then hip toss throws, judo throws the running back. I mean, the guy's he's playing really, really well. Really, really well. And this is the deal. Give Love a chance. What do I mean by that? So they decide to go man. They got the backside safety kind of scanning number 3. Okay. Back releases. You got a lot of guys open right now. The wheel route's wide. The crosser's wide. So all you have to do is the wheel route's a touchdown, quite frankly. Or it's a 30-yard gain. But everything's going to be on the table. When they go man, they don't have 5 good man defenders. Everything's on the table. You just got to be able to hold up front, especially with our receiving core. You see a little bit deeper here. Obviously, this game got out of hand. So sometimes we're watching tape and it's like, yeah, Mike, we're going to see this. Well, third and long, yeah, you might get some deep safety looks in there. This middle of the field stuff is going to be open. And this is kind of, but I write, empty calories, really. You're trying to show some different looks here. And I wonder against the Packers, obviously with Chris, here's the thing. With Christian Watson playing the way he is, at least once a week now, he's making that 50-yard gain. Are they going to respect him and play off? And if they do, that automatically opens up the middle of the field if they're going to play 2 safety high, right? And they're not really a team that has a middle linebacker that's going to run down the middle and be able to make those plays. So this stuff, it is empty calories, but I can talk myself into seeing this during the week. But look, Packers are favored by 3. They're the better football team on paper. Seahawks have more to play for. They're at home, Sunday Night Football. If they win this game, kind of driver's seat to win the NFC West. I can't even remember if that means like you get a bye week anymore. I don't even know what the hell how that works. And it is crazy to think that you got to like a 12-1, 11-2, 10-3, 9, whatever the hell Packers are. Like NFC North is just stacked, and it's just we're still in 3rd place. But life is good. I expect to see a really good game. I think this is going to be a 4th quarter game. It'll be interesting to see who's healthy and who's not in this week. It would be great to get a couple of these guys back in the secondary. You cannot help but turn on this tape and be impressed by the Seattle Seahawks wide receiver core. And listen, they got Noah Fant too at tight end. I mean, if just like every other team, they get skill position guys, but they've got 3 guys who are or have been ones. The Packers are in a different situation, different kind of group because they're younger. They're not as proven, but I mean, certainly they're one of my favorite rooms in the league, if not, certainly the team, if not the league. But this will be a fun matchup. Guys, thanks for watching. Hit me up on Twitter if you got any questions, or X, is it whatever it is, MikeWall68. Process to Perform channel. Like, rate, subscribe, review, all that kind of stuff. We'll get back to this next week with a recap, and that guys will be